In this episode of Crystal Uncorked, I want you to pour a glass of wine or drink of choice if you're not a wine drinker. And I want you to just sit down and stare out of a window or even close your eyes and imagine that you're in Italy, but you're actually in Texas at this amazing property that has so much to offer. And I just want you to get swept away in this episode. I am so honored to have Eva Horton on this episode of Crystal Uncorked, who is the owner of Flat Creek Estate. And this place is gorgeous. Definitely go check it out. If you're in the Texas area, especially Austin area, you need to go to this property. You need to tag me on Instagram because I do it for me because I wish I could go right now. It sounds incredible. Eva's passion for this property, for what they're creating, their wines, the experiences, the restaurant is just oozing through this episode. And that's why I say, I just want you to visualize and just be there, like check out for the next 40-ish minutes during this episode. Now, before we dive in, I want to tell you a little bit about my guest. Eva Horton is the owner of Flat Creek Winery, an 80-acre entertainment destination located just outside of Austin that features a tasting room, full-service bistro, outdoor pavilion, and best-in-class wines developed straight from Flat Creek's vineyard. Eva is a leading partner at Post Lake Capital Partners, managing investment sales, private investors, and special assets servicing entities. She is managing director of Newmark, where her unique approach of working closely with clients throughout the development and entitlement process creates long-lasting relationships. Today, Eva is applying her knowledge of commercial real estate and retail to transform Flat Creek Estate into a premier destination for visitors from across Texas and beyond to enjoy world-class wines from fruits grown on site in Flat Creek's vineyards. Her expertise, warmth, and exceptional customer service create memorable experiences for every visitor. Eva was born and raised in Hugo, Oklahoma, but chose to attend the University of Texas in Austin and later moved to Dallas to start her real estate career. When Eva wasn't working on real estate transactions, she followed her love for the Dallas Cowboys by becoming a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader and is now a current member of the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleader Alum Association. I think you're going to love Eva. I feel like I could just be friends with her. She's hardworking. She's a visionary. She is just so describes this property in beautiful ways that you really do get lost in what she's saying. So I hope that you enjoy this episode as much as I did. Let's dive in. Are you ready to open up and talk about all things business? I'm Crystal Vilkaitis, a curious entrepreneur who loves talking about business, especially over a glass of wine. I started Crystal Uncorked to share open and honest conversations about my journey and talk to other entrepreneurs about their experiences. We pull back the curtain and talk about the highs and the lows. Wine isn't required, but is recommended. This is Crystal Uncorked. Eva, welcome to Crystal Uncorked.
Well, thank you so much. I'm happy to be here.
Yes. Okay. What are you drinking? If anybody's watching the video versus listening to this, Eva is in her winery. It's so stunning. She's got a glass of wine in front of her. What are you drinking?
Okay. This is our award-winning Super Texan. So if you think of a Super Tuscan, this is our signature wine. At the estate, we do a lot, but this is a blend of the Ford is a Sangiovese base. It has a Montepulciano, Primitivo, and a little Petit Syrah in this. Oh my goodness. We have beautiful buckles and saddles and awards, and this is usually what we take. It's a blend. It drinks really well. So, we'll get into it later, but one of the things people always say is, what are your wines? What are Texas wines? And, our wines are Italian wines. And so this is where we came up with this Super Texan as a play on it, but it's a beautiful blend. It goes with everything. So, and we actually are supposed to be in fall today. So instead of a white, I went with a red this afternoon. Even though it's 90 degrees, we still we pretend like it's fall. We're going to try.
Exactly. I love it. Oh my gosh. When I read Super Texan, I'm like, this is brilliant from the name perspective. And because you do have Italian varietals. And so I can't wait to talk more about it. And I can't wait to try that. At some point I have to try the Super Texan. Yes. Oh my gosh, definitely. I have a
So
friend in the
what are
area
you
actually.
drinking?
Yeah, I have a 2020 Pinot Noir. I went on a little bit
Nice.
lighter for right
Hmm.
now. It's also kind of hot here from my one of my favorite wineries out of California called Akash, and it's just a very smooth, light. Usually, I'm a very big, bold red
Hmm.
drinker, but today it's hot, and I went for kind of a lighter wine. So, Eva, cheers.
Cheers. Of course.
Yeah, I have a friend that lives outside of Dallas, and I was asking her if she's heard of you. They're going to make a trip to the Austin area and might stop
Oh,
in. I
nice.
know that she would love it. And so I'm like, maybe I need to meet her there. That would be a lot of fun because I'll post pictures on social for this. We'll link to the property, but your property, Flat Creek Estates, is stunning. And the buildings, I mean, like, it's just so expansive. It's so gorgeous. And I feel like you don't really hear about people growing wine in Texas. This feels kind of newer. How did you get into this world?
I'm real estate background by nature. I mean, that I do actually have a second job. Not that this one doesn't take all my time. And so we were coming out here as patrons. I can't take credit for the buildings. I didn't build them. I actually just purchased it close to a year ago, and it was stunning. The founders that built it started from scratch. They were just a couple. They ran it like a mom and pop. They're wonderful people, Rick and Madeline. They were in their 70s. They retired and they wanted to retire, and they had been looking for the right buyer. And when you put that kind of just your soul into something, they were particular about who could take it and keep the passion about the property and keep the integrity of the property. And that was one of the things that when I started talking to them about growing it and turning it into a world class destination. I mean, that's what this needs to be. We're having people travel from all over. They had beautiful bones. It needed someone to take it to the next level. And so once I bought it, we fell in love immediately. They're still dear to my heart. They come out, and they you always are worried about when you change something or you paint something, and they have just been so wonderful to just go, this is what it's supposed to look like. This was it. They got it to a point of, this is all we're going to be able to do. We're tired. We don't want to do this anymore. So I took it and said, okay, let's grow it up. And I'm going to build on it. I'm going to do lodging. We're going to do villas. Yes, we have 80 acres. So the way the winery is laid out, I mean, we really are a winery in a park. We have close to 20 acres that are planted, but we have these beautiful peripheral areas. So we're going to do lodging on both sides, but we're going to do an event venue. Our place is wonderful to have an event, but we don't want it to conflict where you have to shut the entire winery down. We really are a 3-tier. A lot of wineries are just either producers and with the tasting room or a grower. We really have everything. We grow it here, we make it here. We have a beautiful tasting room that is bar none to anyone out there. I will compete with anyone. We love it. Then we have a full restaurant, and then we actually have an outdoor pavilion. So we run the pavilion with live music every weekend. There's a huge, beautiful fireplace. It's just a destination that you come out here and you savor and you stay the day. And that's what we want it to be. I mean, we want this to be that destination where people look it up and say, I'm going there. Like, I'm going to go vacation there. I want to go stay on that property. And so we put some things in place. I just wanted to make sure that we had it right. I never want to pretend that I'm a restaurant manager or can operate one to the best of my abilities. So we partnered. We found an operator that we loved. We brought in a Michelin-star chef. He earned his Michelin star at 24 in Italy. So it was perfect for us because he loves our wines. He knows how to cook to pair our wines. One of the things that I've told our chef, or our other chef, which is phenomenal too. He's deliciously perfect. He's kind of even got mohawk and fun and crazy guy. But I said, your food, my wine will never make your food taste bad, but your food can make my wine taste bad. And no matter how great the wine is, if we're not doing the right pairings at the table, if we're not doing the right suggestions, whether you can drink whatever you want to drink, at the table, I get it. But the food should always complement, that wine. We run tests with people all the time. Take a drink of this. Oh, it's fabulous. Oh, it's delicious. Now take a bite of that and take the same drink. And we get the same reaction. I wouldn't believe that this is the same wine if I didn't drink it out of my own glass. And vice versa. Take a drink, then take a bite, now take your drink again, and watch how beautiful the wine opens up with the right food, with the right pairing. And we have Italian varietals. So Italians eat. The varietals that we make are made to really savor with food, to go with it. Italian wines in general. So what we wanted to do is say, okay, take what we're doing and make them the best, compete. And that's what we're going to do. We want this to be a world-class establishment. We want it to be that destination where you come out. They competed with their wines in the past and then kind of slowed down. It's hard. It was hard for them to do it. We're ramping that back up. We hired a California, you may know him, a chef, John Hofliger. I always put an N in that. I'm not supposed to. John Hofliger came in. He started in Switzerland. He's done a lot of the European varietals. He's out in California now. And he was perfect for us because we wanted to take our varietals and not that we're not promoting our Texas heritage, because we're all Texas wineries because we're in Texas, but we don't have to have the stigmatism of, oh, it's a Texas wine. Oh, it's going to taste this way or that way. We grow Italian varietals. We have Montepulciano. We have Sangiovese. We have Syrah. We do a Pinot Grigio. I would put against any Pinot Grigio. We make our rosé out of our Sangiovese, and it is beautiful. Our winemaker just brought a test in from this vintage, and we're playing with color because I'm really picky on the color of the rosé. It's that beautiful blush, not too pink, not too orangey, just the hint of that blush. It drinks crisp. It's not sweet, and so we're doing that here. And we want that to be the brand that, we're changing the branding. We're changing the logo. We'll still have the Texas logo. We're bringing in a California varietals as well to do, kind of a mix. This is, okay, here's our estate wines. We have some fun California. We don't try to do things we can't do. I can't do a beautiful cab here. I can get cab, I can bring them in and make them here, but I can't grow them. I can't grow a Pinot Noir. Why would I try? But a Pinot Noir is a beautiful wine, and it's not something that'll compete with our Italian varietals. So we want to offer that. So we want our menu to have the best in class of the varietals that we believe that hit home for people. A lot of people don't understand Italian varietals. I think that's the hardest. When they come in, try to get them to say Montepulciano. Get them to say, some of them will know Sangiovese, they will know Syrah, anything else in between, an Aglianico, a Tempranillo, no clue what it is. They don't even know how to address it. So we try to educate them. We try to tell them before they take the drink, it's an Italian varietal. They're meant to have a bolder flavor in your mouth. They're meant to have a little more tannin in the back. Have the cheese, have your cheese board with it. That's why we do blends. We'll do a beautiful blend. We have another one called Four Horsemen, and it's a beautiful blend. It's bigger and bolder, but it drinks, it's just full bodied. And so that's what we want to promote, that our branding out there can stand. I will put my wines up against anybody, and I wanted to do it right. So we have a lot of wine in the barrel right now that are going to get bottled. I didn't want to bottle them until we bring in Jean. We have him taste. He works with our winemaker now. And so that way we're making them the best that they can be. And then going forward, we've changing the way we're growing, changing the way we're pruning, making sure we're getting that right. So before it goes into the barrels, we're getting best in class. The grapes, we're getting best in class blending, we're getting best in class, product. And that's really what we want to do, because this is that. This has all the flavors. You come out here, people do not come out here for an hour. They come out here for hours in the day. They start in the tasting room and they'll have a charcuterie board and they'll drink the wine and they'll have a tasting. And then they'll move up to Alera, the restaurant. That's actually the name of the restaurant. They'll have brunch, and we have fabulous brunch. We have everything from avocado toast to chicken and waffles to lobster egg, Benedict. I mean, it's a beautiful brunch menu. The Italian, in the evenings, it's hand rolled pasta. And then they'll go out to the pavilion. The live music starts in the afternoon, and they'll finish out there, and they'll be out here 5-6 hours sometimes. And so that's what we want. We want it to feel that way. We want it to be that way. And so we've taken the last few months and really just landscaped, did the things that we needed to do to get it to that place. And we're excited. We're excited to put it out to the world. They weren't, the marketing, no one really even knew about it. And now we woke it up. Now I got it ready, and the world needs to know it, because we're going to be out there. We're going to compete. Our wines, we're going to make sure that, we're getting back into distribution, which we're very excited about doing, and get people here.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I think it's so smart you're adding lodging, because I could so see especially I'm planning a wedding right now. And so we're looking at I think we're actually going to have ours at a winery, and to just have people that are right there that you could stay. And it's the whole experience. I feel like you look at this business really from the experience lens, like where people are they're comfortable. It's almost like you're at home. If I lived in the area, that would be like my go-to place to bring anybody who's visiting me. I would be like, we're spending a day, we're going, and then I'll be there every other weekend, because that's right up my alley. Where did the Italian inspiration come from?
It actually started with the soil, because that is what we grow well here. Texas soil, we have a lot of limestone in our soil as well, and the heat. So when you start looking at varietals, and even down, I'm sure about the 290 Fredericksburg wine trail that's in Texas out of Austin. So if you
check it out.
Gosh, so you definitely have to play with that. So coming out of Austin, and we are catching Napa very quickly. And we have 200 and something wineries that are just along the trail. And from what I heard, I think about a week ago, there were like 80 new permits going out, and they're beautiful. Yep, they're a little bit lower in elevation than we are, so they can do some Spanish, they can do some of things like that. For where we are, we're actually on the north side of the Lake Travis, so we're one of one out here. And I talked to them, and we have wonderful groups. It's a small group, I mean, even in Napa, in all of the wine world, it becomes very small very quickly. Everybody knows everybody. And it was interesting in talking to them about the time that people spend on property, what they do, how they promote, and I learned very quickly that our varietals, being Italian, it grows well in our soil. Don't try to do something that we're not good at. Stick to it, and then let everything else. I don't know if you can hear the music. We always have Italian music playing in the background.
Love it.
But one of the things that I asked, I said, when you have tastings, what is the average tasting stay for just a normal walk-in in your tasting room? 30 to 40 minutes. 30 to 40 minutes. They come in, they do their tasting, they're moving on to another one. We have trouble sometimes because it's an hour, it's 2 hours. People get in here, the music is going. I don't think you can see, but we have an outdoor patio. We have fire pits around the outdoor patio. We have, the greenery, we have the vines. And I hear it all the time. When we're here, I feel like I'm just away. Like I don't even feel like I'm in Austin and I just drove in from the city. Like I just can't, we hear it all the time. But when you come out here, you have that. I could be in a villa in Italy. So it really worked for the Italian varietals. The food pairing is beautiful with it. So it all flows. And so if you look, you know how the buildings look. It has that Tuscany, the feel with it, the faux finishes, but it still keeps the Texas limestone, the fun hill country. So when you're here, if you are visiting, we didn't really want, and one of the things that I talked to even the founder, they said, people who come out here, you can't duplicate something from Italy. I've been to Italy. I love it. I've been to a lot of different places. What I don't want to do is try to duplicate something from over there and try to mimic it and say, oh, we're going to try to be like that. Italy's Italy, right? And when you go, it's beautiful. And I've never heard anyone come back from Italy saying they didn't like the wine. No one says, oh, the wine sucked. So what we want to do here is capture that Italian varietal taste, capture that feel when you're here, and get that experience for people. Because, like you said, it's all about the experiences. It's when you leave here, you go, what an amazing day I had. Whether you came with a spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend, or you came with a group of friends or your mom. My mom and I come out here and we just sit and we enjoy and we just drink wine and have such a great time. And that's what we want. We want, when you're here, that experience, when you walk away, you get saying, I will go back there. This was one of the most amazing places. It's funny, if you go up to Yountville and French Laundry, and you go to restaurants, like that, there's an experience, whether it's, something you love and you go back over and over but when you're there, you remember that. You remember when you open the wine again. And, I had someone tell me the other day and said, sometimes when I take things home, it doesn't taste like it always does here. And not necessarily here, my wine, but just in general. And I said, well, some of it's the experience, that when you're enjoying it, it's no different in your Napa. You're in Italy drinking out of the little mason jar cups that they get, the glass. It's not even a big, beautiful, wine glass. The experience you take with you. And every time you open that bottle of wine again, that's what you remember. And you go, we need to go back there. And that's what Flat Creek is. And that's what my goal is, to create that world-class experience. So this is on your bucket list to come. People are coming to Austin anyway. It's a beautiful city. It's so much fun. And we're still working on getting shuttles back and forth where you don't have to drive out here, that we're contracting with the hotels that are downtown, that we have our own shuttles. So when you're staying in a hotel, they're promoting Flat Creek. We'll come pick you up. Shuttle leaves out at a certain amount of time, right? And then buses can come out. We can take you, Uber services, different limo services, and really capture that experience that you're going to be in Austin anyway. Spend one day with us. I promise it'll be worth your while. Create that world-class experience that when you're on property, you want to savor another hour. You want to stay just a little bit longer. We hear it all the time too. Well, I was only going to come out for brunch, and now I'm here, and now I've gone there, and now we're 3 hours, and I had to call my Uber who was coming to pick us up at 3, and now it's 5 because we want to have dinner.
Right now I'm being charged rent. I now live here, right, and I'm getting a bill.
So that's what we want to create, is to give that lodging experience as well. That says, whether you booked it with us and you're staying, or we say, we have a beautiful little villa for you if you'd like to stay the night. Yeah, come stay with us, awesome. Enjoy the property, savor it for what it's supposed to be, because that's what we are. I mean, and that's what we want to do. My goal is to create a world-class experience with world-class wines where you don't walk out of here going, yeah, it was just a Texas little hangout and it was fun. This is going to compete with the other areas that you'd say, I would go to Italy. I'll go to Yountville. I'll go out to that area. I want to be here. I want to have my weddings here. I want to have my family gatherings here, because that's what this place is, and that's what we're creating.
Yeah.
I'm very
Oh,
excited
it's
about it.
so beautiful, Eva. It's so beautiful. And I know that you're doing some unique events too. Before we hit record, you were talking about the butterfly farm, which I would love for you to tell people about that. But, I teach social media to retailers. We work with a lot of independent mom and pop shops, and events are one of the best ways to drive traffic. And with a venue like you have, I feel like that's going to be one of the best ways to be driving. So you are doing some of that. Please share with us what you got going on.
Yeah, one of the things, and even just in looking at our demographics that are around us, what's happening in Austin in general, and just even who comes in from Dallas, from Houston, from San Antonio. So we took a look at it and said, okay, if we look at our property, we're getting all mixed, and it's not just the adults. I mean, so we're catering to some children. We had to say, look, our area around us is growing, the demographics are growing, and so we wanted to make this a very family oriented and make it fun for everyone. Whether you were hosting an event or having a wedding, what do you do when you're not at the wedding? What do you do when you come out here? So we've really taken some of the areas, and several of the things we do. One is I mentioned earlier is the butterfly garden. We have this beautiful area. We started playing with the plants, and I didn't even know that there was a real thing where like a person comes out and tells you what to do. But so it was very interesting. Um, but just in testing it, we had 1,000 butterflies out there over the weekend. 1,000. I mean, we couldn't even count them. We had kids chasing them around and playing. So what we want to do, it is modern technology these days. So we're creating a barcode so you can go out with your wine. We have these beautiful benches where you can sit all in them. The butterflies come to you. They just migrate over to you. You can click on it and actually find all the different butterflies that are indigenous to Texas that are in our garden. So if you're with your children, it gives them something fun to do. It gives them, and for me, I love doing it. Like, can I find this? Can I find that one? What is it? Another thing that we're doing is creating a picnic basket where you come, you have a pre-order, it's a bottle of wine, you have your picnic basket, it comes with a blanket, you take it out, and we have we have a pecan orchard out around. We have actually water features on the property. We have these beautiful trees that just lend itself to take your basket out, find your spot, and spend your day out there. It may just be with you and a book. It may be you and your dog. You may be wanting to propose that day. We have a lot of wedding proposals on the property, which is exciting
Oh,
and fun.
fun.
But it gives something else to do with, that says, how do I enjoy it for me today? And so we're doing shop, sip and shop is always a big one. We really work with the local artists, the local community vendors. Austin is the art mecca of the world, in everything. And, whether it's arts and painting, it's arts and crafts, it's beautiful jewelry, so we're really, wanting to bring in that community and have these events where they're set up. You walk it, you tour it, you drink, you eat, you shop. We're working with a lot of the paint. So that's a big thing. We had a big group out here just recently. They stayed about 6 hours. They had their easels, they drank wine, they paint. I'm a paint by
Oh,
numbers. That's about as good as painting. I
same.
did the turkey thing
Yeah.
when I was a child, and you made
Yes.
the little turkey. That's about as good as I could get with
Yes.
it. So, but these guys, they just spin it. It's a beautiful place to do it. So they come out. We're doing fun hay rides. It's fall. It's the most beautiful time. The vineyard's still green. It looks great. Do fun things for the children. Do things, as we go into the holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all of these fun things to bring people out to spend an entire afternoon here. And that's really what we want. Instagrammable is a big thing, so we are creating pockets. That's one of the things that weren't really on the property. It was missing. Like, where do you take your photos? Where do you take the beautiful pictures with Flat Creek behind it and the vines and the beautiful things? So we're working with artists. We want it to be authentic. We want it not to look like a billboard that we put up that you stand and take your picture by. And very open air, lots of beautiful trestles and fun things. And, so we're really wanting that to be that signature that when you come out here, again, you're out here for the day. You're drinking, we're doing a champagne patio On the back, our Alera is you'll have to come see it if you didn't on the website. You can look inside. We have some pictures of the inside. Completely remodeled it. We wanted it. It needs to be a 5-star restaurant. It needs to look like a 5-star restaurant. As I mentioned earlier, we have a Michelin star chef. That's our executive chef that has come in, completely changed the menu. You know, he's earned his star in Italy. So that is beautiful with our pairings, beautiful with the wine. It's all Italian flair. So, but we still want it to be fun. We still want you to sit out on the back and look out over the vineyard. It's a very hilly area, so the vineyard, you can see it from the restaurant and from all the different points of view. So when you're out there having a mimosa and you're like, I'm good, I'll sit right here. And so that we want it every single time you come. You mentioned something earlier about coming out all the time. That's what I want to create. I want to create that when you come, it's a different experience every time. Some days you may just play in the tasting room with your friends. You may taste wine and the music's going, and we have fun pairings down there as well, down here. And, or you may have a complete dinner, in Alera, enjoying bottles and tables and the full meal and service. Or you may be in your shorts and you may sit out and just listen to music all day. On a beautiful fall day when the fireplace is going, it's the perfect place. That's where I sit. I sit outside. I sit by the fire. I listen to live music on acoustic guitar, and I could sit out there all day long. So it's an experience place where it says it's a little bit for everybody, and it's a little bit for everybody depending on when you came and what you feel that day. So that way you can come back. Come back and see what's happening. Check our website. We're always doing fun things. That way the family can come out. We did candy pairing for Halloween. We actually paired wine with candy. And I laughed. Actually, it wasn't my idea. I wish it was. But the girls came to me and I said, if you can show me pairings that go together, okay, let's try it. It was phenomenal. And it was funny because the adults, they're eating Sour Patch things. We've got candy corn. We've got a dark chocolate. We had Reese's. And each one we actually paired with the wines, and they were beautiful. I actually even someone told me, said, I don't eat candy corn. I don't like it. But
Yeah, I
with
don't.
this wine, it was beautiful. And so it was just fun for people. You kind of think it was something for the children, but it went over so well. And everyone's like, we're going to do what? I'm like, let's go for it. Let's try. Let's play. Take a bite, take your wine. They were so playful that some people were like, can we buy these? Because we're having a party at the house, and what a fun way to do some fun adult Halloween things, right? You don't really think about, pairing candy. So just things like that where we want to bring that experience. So we had the chef make up things the other day. We had like a crostini, a steak crostini with a little drop of blue cheese. We had cheesecake. We had kind of an Italian bread salad, and they were just small bites. And we were putting them with some things that aren't released. In the tasting room, we just said, it's just fun. Try it. What are we drinking? And, the bottle didn't even have a label on it. It's like, here's our 2020 Pinot Grigio, not out. Here's our Four Horsemen 2016, not yet out. And then we actually did have a rosé. But we were just doing it to have fun. We were just playing around. And you're like, y'all don't normally do this. Well, we might more. Let's try some fun things. We offer beautiful things for our members, private member parties, where you just come out and drink some of our library wine, get to come play, because you want to it's special to be a member. You want it to feel special to be a member. It's not about, we're going to ship you 4 cases of wine 4 times a year, and thanks for playing. We want this to feel like your country club. We want, when your people are in town, that you bring them out here, that you go, oh, let's have dinner at the club. Let's go out where Trooper's Den was the original tasting room, and it's a little room. It's really cute. We're turning that into a VIP room, so it's special. It's, if you're a certain club member, you get to go in there, and it's warm, and it kind of looks like the equivalent like a cigar bar. It's a dark, seedy, really sexy feel. You go in there and you're sipping your wine, and we're even going to allow bourbon and some fun things where you go, just this is your savoring room. This is my private VIP room. And that's what we want. We want it to have that. I know I used world class, and I just keep going back to that because each venue stands on its own merit, but together it's just a beautiful venue of everything. And so that's what we want to do. I want it to be fun. I want it to be sexy and inviting. I want you to want to stay. And that's what we're seeing. Our tasting room isn't a 30, 40 minute and I move on to the next one. I run out of room sometimes. I have to
Right.
move people
I bet.
around and start going, how about lunch?
Yeah.
How about we treat you to a glass of wine and move you to
Station.
Atlera and have a
Yeah.
beautiful brunch?
Yeah.
But that's a good problem to have. When people come out
Absolutely.
and I'm getting the feedback of this place is just magical. We just want to be here,
Yeah.
and that's what we want it to be too. And that's
I
and that's
love
what
it.
I'm
Well, and
creating, and it's going to just get better. I just got started,
oh,
so
totally. I
give me
mean, I
another
love,
year, and
yeah. Well, I can't wait to see it in person. And I just love your vision for it and what you're already creating and where you're going and what you're doing. I think you said something that I want to just kind of say again, because I think a lot of business owners can connect to this. When you look at your business with, let's just have fun, I think it really creates, that's when creativity is found, like new ideas, and you're just that playfulness where we can sometimes be like, oh, but here are my expenses, so I've got to bring in at least this much, and all my turnover and my costs and my marketing budget and all the things. And yes, like those things are very important. You need to know your numbers, you need to be trying to grow the business and doing what you can. But if you get so caught up, that's your focus, and you lose one, the vision of what you're wanting to create. And then two, just that looking at it of how can we just have fun? Man, like we miss a lot if we don't look through those, lenses and create
I
that.
agree 100%. And I've said it, and I say it to the staff all the time. People get stressed out and people get worked up, and I'm like, guys, it's just wine. It's just wine. Keep that in
It's
mind.
just
It is a
fine.
business,
Yep.
and I'm definitely I'm a numbers person. Even in my real estate world, I'm in capital markets. I do investment sales. So I'm always budget driven. I have to do that as well. But if you lose the fun part of it, if you lose that, like I said, the playfulness of it that says, guys, it's just wine. Play with it. We might get it wrong sometimes. We probably will. Before we make it perfect, we probably will. And there's going to be wines that we're going to blend and go, didn't turn out like I wanted it to. Keep going.
Right.
Let's try it.
Yep.
Play with it. See what happens. Test it. See what the customers, and that's why I love bringing out things. I'm like, what do you think about this? What would y'all like to see? You're the customer. You've been coming. What do you like at other places? What do you not like? That way you're always interacting. You're having fun with it. And then the more that happens, it will evolve. It comes. The destination resort feel comes. I'm still picky about every time I see a weed in my flower bed. I'm like, I'm like, okay, it's we're in the hill country. It's going to happen. It's got to look groomed, but it doesn't look perfect. We're not the W Hotel. But at the same time, if you get so serious into the other, you'll feel it. The customers feel it. The staff feels it, and that's where I think that you lose that. I love it when people come in and they're like, "Hey, welcome, come in. What can we get you today? Are you having a tasting? Are you drinking wine? We have wine. Know where to find wine." And that's why I have to remind my staff sometimes when they're very busy. I will tell you, I love my staff. We had to go through some turnover. We had to get some things done. But the team that we have in place is so good, and it's crucial because we're customer service. So you can't get to everybody immediately. I get it. I'll be right with you. If you'll just find a seat, here's what we have to offer. I'll be right with you. People understand that because they don't come here not looking for a good time. They come here looking for that hospitality. They want someone to take a minute and tell them about the wine. They want somebody to tell them about what is Trooper's Den over there. What's that little building? That was the first winery. That was the first tasting room. It's this big, and now we have this beautiful tasting room. Those are the history. I was lucky enough to get a lot of old pictures. I mean, boxes of them, and I'm going through there now, and you're going to do a table book, and even post some pictures around so people can feel and see the history of where it was and how far it's come and what it is today. And I know I love doing that. I love standing on a corner, a cafe, and saying, this was that corner, and it has a buggy and a wagon, going through. Those are fun things. And so you take your time. And that's what I had to tell the staff. I had to slow everyone down a minute and say, guys, this, if one person walks out of here and we didn't give them that personal touch, we didn't give them that experience, they got cheated. They just got cheated. And I don't want that. Like, I want people to feel that here and enjoy it. And they feel it from the staff. When the staff is stressed and they're running around and everybody's just, you've been at restaurants, you've been at places where you just think, man, they're either understaffed or something's wrong today. You'll still eat, you'll still have your meal, but the experience isn't the same. When people talk to you and they're having a good time, you have a better time. You actually will just go, oh my gosh, I had so much fun. Thank you for telling me about the wine. Thank you for telling me, because that's what's fun for them. Bring them a little bite of something they didn't order or pay for. Try this. This is going to be fun. Take a drink of that. Now taste this piece. What is it? Do you, make sure you eat meat or make sure you eat cheese or what? Yep. Okay, try that. Now try that. Oh my gosh, what happened? Oh, we'll do it again. Hold on. Do that. Then it's fun for them. And that's what I tell my staff. I say, have fun when you're here. Enjoy, talk with them, play with them. Because the more they're having fun, the more you're going to have fun. And then you love coming to work. I hear it all the time. I love my job. I love being here. This is fun. My mother comes up here and, and she'll she just starts pouring wine to people and talking to people. I'm like, what'd you tell them about the wine? Oh, I don't know what's in it, but I like this one. Taste a little bit. This is my favorite. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I love, but that is what I love about, yeah. That's what I love about small businesses, though. It's like the family's there and you're creating that feeling with your staff too. And it's really amazing how we can have such an impact on people's day and week and month and just create these memorable experiences. I mean, your place reminds me of Disneyland. My fiance and I love going to Disneyland. When we lived in California, we went a lot. I mean, I lost track of how many times we've been. But every single time was different. We would go on a different path, a different ride. We would find rides we hadn't been on yet. We'd eat at different restaurants. We'd do different orders of things. And so every time the experience was new. And that's exactly what you said. Like, you can come here and have all these different experiences. And that's what keeps it even if it's the same experience, if it's a good one, you're loving it, you're coming back. But to have some of the variety that right there in people's backyard, or if it is a destination, I mean, that's what's amazing of what you're creating. And your passion is just like oozing through this episode, which I love.
I'm very excited about it. And I welcome everybody to come. I'm proud of it. And I still have a long way to go. I still, I walk around and my husband says, even not everything has to be done immediately. I was like, oh, but if I did that, that would be awesome. Like, what if we do that over here? What if and I'm still having to make wine and play with that too. So it's like every day is busy, but it's fun busy. It's that part that you go, oh, something else woke up today. Something else is coming alive on the property and it's going to be fabulous. And so I welcome it. And I want people to say, that's on my bucket list. When I go to Austin, I'm not going to Austin. I'm going to go to Flat Creek. Now we'll go into Austin, we'll play, but I want to go stay at Flat Creek. And we're actually partnering with a boat service because we're not too far. We're less than a mile from the lake. We're not actually directly on the water, but we have access to it. And so we're actually going to start with a boat to where you can take a 2-hour or 4-hour on the water and do a wine dinner. And
Oh,
so,
wow.
oh my gosh, because most of the people do not have the luxury of getting on the lake when they get here. So for us, I thought, what a beautiful thing to do. Or if you're doing a wedding, we have just down the road too, we have like an ATV, a fun like 4-wheel thing. And I thought, how much fun is that if the guys go play and did that? The girls have spa. They take
Yeah.
they take a wine tour on the lake. Then everybody meets back for dinner. They come back here. I mean, just fun things for even a
Yeah.
family. I have people tell me we would do a staycation. Like we would just come in from
Yeah.
Austin and stay out here for the weekend and enjoy this place
Yeah.
and love it. And I want that. I want it to be thought of that way. And
Oh, I love
it's
it.
getting there. It's going to be there. I mean, that's what I'm creating, and I want it to be a world class destination that people say that was an amazing trip. I will do that again. If you're in Texas, you need to go here,
Yes.
and
Oh,
and the wines
Eva.
will match up to it too. So I'm excited.
Yeah. I'm
And
excited for you.
you'll
I
have to
love
come
that you're,
visit me, and I will give
yes,
you come play.
yes.
So
Listeners,
when are
come
you getting
visit and
married? You
say,
said you're looking for wedding things. So
yes,
do we know when the wedding is yet?
it is. It's September 21st, 2024. I wanted to
Okay.
be engaged for a little bit. And
So you
so
haven't picked
like
a venue.
we I think we have, we look at two more on Friday, but we have our heart set on a place. We're going to do it here in Colorado so my grandma
Okay.
can go, and
Yeah.
my family does not travel well. So we're going to be here, and I'm born and raised in Loveland, Colorado. And so I feel like it's kind of special to get married in
Oh,
Loveland.
nice.
And so there's a place called Sweetheart Winery. It's just a tiny little
Oh, just
place.
the
Yeah,
name is
I
perfect.
know. I know it
Oh my
is.
gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we're excited. We got some time though, which is nice to plan it. But definitely would love, I mean, Flat Creek Estates, everybody who's listening, go check out their website and see how beautiful this place is. If you are in the area, go. If you're traveling, you know somebody, tell them about it. I can't wait to visit, Eva. I for sure will be visiting. And do you have any final parting words before we end today's episode?
No, this has been wonderful. Thank you so much. And again, we're just really proud of our little place out here. And it's growing. It's going to be beautiful and first class. And that's really what that we're throwing out there. We've managed to blend first class experience with Texas charm. So
Yeah.
that's what
Oh,
you're going to get when you come out here. We're very excited.
I I love that so much. I feel like we could talk forever. This was
I
so
know.
great. And thank you so much for being here, Eva. And
Thank you
we
for
will
having
definitely
me.
be in touch. And everyone else, I will see you on the next See You. Thanks.
See you guys.
All right, let's keep this conversation going. Join me on Instagram. I'm at Crystal Uncorked. And I need to tell you, thank you so much for listening to this show. It truly means the world to me. If you're enjoying Crystal Uncorked, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Okay, I'll see you on the next See You. Cheers, friend.